Hey, hello, hello. Uh, all right. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, sorry I'm so late. Sorry I'm so late. Diaclia is asking if I just woke up. No. I actually. Wait, you guys got double audio? What does that mean? Double audio. You should have single audio. No, you guys have. The audio seems fine. Yeah, no. Yeah, you guys are patient. Thanks, I appreciate it. No, I didn't just wake up, but I did not have time to go to the gym or anything today. I did take a long nap today, and then I had to go apartment hunting. Or not I'm not apartment hunting. I know what apartment I'm gonna go to, but I had to go there, do stuff basically, right? So not my usual schedule. Nick is asking what is that in your hair? Well, normally I stream right when I'm like right out of the shower, so my hair's flatter. This is I took a nap earlier today, so my hair's kind of poofier than usual, I guess. Um, but that's okay because it still looks good, better than your guys' hair. So, where are we starting? Oh, and then I had to eat because I'm hungry. Kakashi Snitch 9 says, "Do you think Crollo is deep?" I like Crollo as a character. Snab says, "Happy birthday, Morj." I like Crollo as a character. Um, how do I say this? He's a cool character. I think that it's tricky because I think that the backstory that we got for the Phantom Troop, without spoiling anything of what actually happens, but I think the backstory that we got for the Phantom Troop, it's tricky for me because I think that it was a really good backstory for the first 90% in terms of setting up the characters, what they were like before. I think it was well paced. I think the idea behind it and how they all connected and everything like that was really, really well done. And I was invested in kind of the cutesy nature of it and learning about what these characters were initially like. I think where it missed is just the crucial 10%, at least for me, which was like, okay, so what was the final trigger for transforming them and everything like that? And that was about by the numbers and as predictable as you can get. But not just that, because it's fine to be predictable. Like we all know when we read a One Piece backstory, like okay, we know Bellemir's gonna die, right? We know Bellemir's gonna die. We know Hiruluk's gonna die, right? Like we know these characters aren't around anymore at the end. But what really hits is the how those scenes are done to be as emotional and tragic as possible and really heart wrenching, right? I feel like the Phantom Troop, it kind of just it was the generic end to their backstory, whatever. And then I think it missed the crucial step of like how that transformed the characters. I think that because the transformation of the Phantom Troop from what Crollo once was to what he became, that's the really, really drastic part, right? And I think that more time should have been spent like digging into that change in his character, because otherwise it feels kind of like, okay, so we tick off this box of like this thing occurs, right? And then it's like now he's just a totally different person. Like it skips most of the work that you want done in the character transformation, right? By just being like, okay, now everything's just different from the like the change needed more writing spent on it, the change moment, rather like because we got the before, plenty of time spent on the before. Then the ending section is just like, oh, okay, now it's now they're the Phantom Troop and they're the worst bad guys in the world. It's like, okay, um, yeah, but I mean, I like Crollo as a character. I just don't think that at the end of the day, his backstory wasn't that great. And I think that his backstory, like backstories aren't always what's the most important for whether a character is deep or not, but at the moment, that's the most we got going for him. Nine or not a bot says, can we agree that Snake Man and Gear 2 are the coolest looking transformations aesthetically? Yeah, I would agree with that. Snake Man and Gear 2nd, for sure, for sure. Aesthetically, yeah. Yeah, like the stream, guys. Let's get the stream to 200 likes. B-Gate 8-Gate Production says, Morj, have you ever had a girlfriend? Can you talk to women? Yes, and I think I can. Oh, wait, should we just get a member? Mr. MMF says, MMF2 member, Yonko member for 3 months says, you need a haircut, also has your shoulder, also like the stream, also Lorge. I do need a haircut, I think. But this is not how my hair is supposed to be. This is closer to bedhead me. Lorge D late, thank you. Yeah. Who forced me to do this stream? I thought that this stream is an okay idea because I think that I don't want to watch the Wano anime, but it's good for me to at least see clips of it so that I understand how the Wano anime is. You know? Let me shake off the sleep. Hold on. I've been awake for over an hour, so I have nothing to really be tired about. Degen Dan says, I believe Kaido might be a better antagonist in the anime than in the manga by the end of Wano. What do you think, Morj? I mean, that shouldn't be hard, right? That shouldn't be hard. I think that, shouldn't it be pretty easy to make Kaido in the anime better than in the manga? Joe Mama says Morj, the Wano anime is insane. I mean, I've seen clips. I've seen like clips, so now I want to give it a dedicated look. A dedicated look at these clips, not at full episodes. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that at the end of the day, the actual episodes are probably pretty terrible, right? Because no matter what, they're having to stretch half a chapter of content into 20 minutes, which is just, it's impossible to make it good, right? So, they can make the clips good, but the actual episodes have to be bad, right? Am I wrong on this? But I'm interested in seeing what the clips are like. Caleb Brown says, Morj, do you already have clips or are you taking suggestions? I'm taking suggestions because, I mean, I could look at the Kaido Yamato clash scene, but I saw that already, so it's not exactly a reaction. I could just watch I could just watch that clip again and give my thoughts on it. Matthew says few and far between actual good episodes. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's like the anime is not good just because it has good clips. All of 10:15 is necessary? Yeah, I saw 10:15. 10:15 was the one where they get to the rooftop, right? Am I wrong? Is 10:15 the one where they get to the rooftop? Because I thought that was a great episode. Like, I watched that and I thought that it was genuinely a really, really, really good episode. Like, I had nothing to say about it. I will say I skipped the beginning part, the stupid Yamato bullshit with the Yamato and the journal and stuff. I watched the entire rooftop scene, right? Luffy, etc., all of them on the rooftop. I really, like, I'm not just saying that. I really think that it was phenomenal scene direction. I mean, even small stuff like, I wouldn't even call it small, but getting the viewpoint from beneath Luffy's hat, that's so creative. Right? Nick says the Yamato part is great, what the fuck? It's just, if it's like trying to make the Yamato and Ace scene like meaningful, it's just, I mean, I got the gist of it. I kind of skimmed through it. It's like an attempt to make the Yamato and Ace scene meaningful, which is just like, no, it's just padding out. It's just padding out some, trying to add some substance to something that really shouldn't even be there. Kabir says, Morj, do you think Luffy with advanced, do you think Law with advanced observation beats Luffy? No, of course not. Fatingo, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 4 months. Would you consider fan fiction if they extend and expand on Kaido's backstory from chapter 1049? I mean, unless Oda wrote it, then it's fan fiction, right? Tala Jahan says 1045 from 15 minutes in. Yeah, wait, 1045 from 15 minutes in. What happens in 1045? Patricia Zabrano, welcome to the Yonko, thank you. Attilio says most episodes are poorly paced, a few anime sequences here and there, but some full episodes utilize the pace to truly innovate the material. 1033, for example. What's 1033? One Piece episode 1033. Is that the... Oh, is this the Conqueror's Haki episode? I don't really know. Oh, this is Kaido defeating Luffy. Kaido defeating Luffy. Interesting. Uchek says they aren't showing events in the exact same order as the manga in order to keep more of the action together. Okay, that's interesting. That's probably a good idea. Andy T says L, best Yamato characterization in the series. There's also the Luffy part of it. Yeah, but it's not real. That's my issue with it. It's not real. It's like whatever they're doing with her character, that's not what her character actually is, right? Any additional, right? Like any additional writing that they're making up for her character, it's just some fan fiction version of Yamato. That doesn't make it like. I guess that's my issue with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't improve, like writing wise. You can't improve or try to add in characterization that's not there because that's not what the character is, in my opinion. In my opinion, a good adaptation basically takes what's there, right? What's there actually written in the manga and just tries to portray it or direct it or dramatize it in as good of a manner as possible. But just making up dialogue or new characterization for a character, basically, that like especially if it's not congruent with what the character actually is written like over the course of the rest of the arc, that's not good. You know, that's just the anime making shit up, which I don't think is good. Khaled Suleiman, thanks for being a Yonko member for a month. My girlfriend finished Wano, isolated from YouTube. She felt like the raid was about to fail when CP0 interfered, plus when Sanji said, how many miracles have we seen? Yeah, when Sanji says, how many miracles have we seen, it's just like... You know, it's just like basically the characters are literally just like, yeah, we're never gonna lose this. Just chill. There's no need to feel any tension. MOB says it's real to me, damn it. Man's hating. No, I'm serious though. It's just like, but that like whatever good characterization you're seeing from Yamato, none of it actually like pans out in terms of the actual the way the rest of the arc is going to be written. So it's just you know, it's just. Why try and like make some shit up that's not actually relevant to what we're gonna get? J Viru Z Force 2 says you're taking the source too seriously. Manga's for entertainment. If it fails in developing characters, then the anime team is free to do whatever they want. No, but it all has to tell a coherent, cohesive story, right? So, like it or not, whatever we got in the manga that is the story. The anime adding new stuff just to make a character better, well, does that characterization, is it, like, how well does it play into how the rest of the story actually plays out, right? All Blue Boy says, honestly, Morj, you really just seem to hate on One Piece these days. I don't think you've seen my opinion on Egghead. I've been saying only good things about Egghead. You can watch, like, all my most recent videos. I'm not gonna, like... First of all, this isn't new, by the way. Before Wano, after Wano, etc., I've always said bad things about the One Piece anime because it is bad, right? As far as anime adaptations go, in terms of how great of a series One Piece is, it's just not a good adaptation, right? For how phenomenal the story of One Piece overall is. So I've never said like this isn't new. This isn't a nowadays thing, right? If One Piece had a good anime, and here's the thing about the One Piece anime. Like, it's not even just that... One of the reasons I really dislike the One Piece anime is because it makes it harder for me to recommend One Piece to other people. Because it's so much easier to recommend anime than manga to people, right? So much easier to recommend anime than manga because more people are open to watching than reading. But the One Piece anime is just something I can't actually recommend because I know that people are going to hit a point where, you know, be that Marineford or... Not Marineford, sorry. post time skip especially, like Fishman Island, Dressrosa, etc., where the anime just becomes too painful, it becomes too slow, too little content, etc. It makes it so that I can't really go back and just binge this anime, even though I got into it as an anime lover, right? As an anime viewer specifically, and I got to enjoy the bulk of the series. Not the bulk of the series, but I got to enjoy basically up to like Enies Lobby in the anime and everything like that. Now I can't go back and just watch my favorite show from start to finish because it's just a ridiculous idea to do so. It's like, why would I drag myself through Dressrosa or Punk Hazard or Fishman Island at the anime's pacing, just like eking through bits and tiny pieces of like dialogue and still frames and like dragged out moments and ruined comedy bits, etc., through this terrible adaptation of my favorite series, right? So I have a huge bone to pick with the anime because it's like, this is all we get, right? There's no other adaptation of One Piece. If you want to watch the story, you have to watch it in this terrible, dragged out, diluted format, right? You have to watch it like that. And if you recommend it to other people, it's just like, why would I at the end of the day? I would recommend it through the manga, and not a lot of people like to read, so it's just the way it is, right? It's like, if I want to watch clips, I can watch clips, That's pretty much it. But, that's basically it. Crunky Crucker, thanks for being a Supernova member for 3 months. Poppy Morj, watch the animation Raizo vs. Fukurokuju. Is it actually good? Atelier says in 1033, Kaido fought Luffy's ghost unlike the manga. Kaido fought Luffy's ghost unlike the manga. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. 8 Traps is One Piece. Yeah, One Piece is like a decent solution. I think One Piece is like a decent solution. I could try One Piece. Here's the thing, like, when I talk about the One Piece anime, a lot of people are like, well, obviously it's not going to be as good as like a seasonal anime. It's not going to be like, Hunter x Hunter or something like that, or like an Attack on Titan level anime. I don't care about that. It could just be as good as like, Bleach. Not even 1,000-Year Blood War, because that's a very high bar, but I'm like, just Bleach or like Naruto or something like that. It could just have that level of pacing. And I've always said, those, like, Naruto has a lot of filler, right? But the filler is, it's skippable filler. It's filler episodes, which are infinitely better because you can just skip them than filler that's within the episodes, which is the way that One Piece does it, which just drags out the whole scene and everything like that. So if I could just go re-experience like the One Piece anime the way that Naruto is, that would be perfect, right? You just skip all the filler episodes. Every episode is at least decently paced, decently good animation, not these shitty like cardboard cutout stills like every so often and stuff like that. Not like 50% of the episodes dedicated to reaction shots. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it could be weekly perfectly fine, but like, why can't it be weekly and also just have filler episodes? Baby Morge says, the problem is y'all have lives. If you don't have a life, the pacing is not an issue. That's an interesting take. Mr. Crescent says, yeah, but it sucks for weekly viewing. Yeah, but I don't get that argument because it's just like, but couldn't you just treat it like a seasonal anime then? Which is just, the same way that, if I'm like, okay, One Piece is going through a filler arc, then isn't that just the same thing as One Piece just not being around for a season? So we're waiting for the next core, the same way we wait for the next season of, say, I don't know, My Hero or Jujutsu or something like that. Gavin says watch One Piece instead. Yeah, I do recommend One Piece to people. AJK says, why are you and Library of Ohara always going at each other at Reverie? Does he have a bone to pick with you? No, I think I think Arthur and I don't have any actual problems, and I respect Arthur's stuff a lot. Arthur's just, I think out of all of the One Piece community, I think Arthur is the staunchest supporter of, he's the most pro One Piece person. Does that make sense? Like, in the One Piece YouTube community, right? He's I think he loves the series very holistic. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, he's just, okay, I mean, the simplest way to say it is that he's very pro One Piece, and I think that it doesn't matter if it's me or if it's Roger or whoever, but if there's some people who are saying things that are slightly more critical, then he's going to be more outspoken against that. That's just natural, right? I think I used to be the same way. So, that's nothing crazy. Cigar saying I missed a super from him. Let me take a quick look. Okay. Cigar saying that's some purist stuff. Oh shit, I should have skipped the super. Alright, Cigar saying that's some purist stuff. Anime is handling Wano better in terms of both characters and story, putting in depth on why Yamato wants to protect Wano. Okay, but here's the thing. You can't just make up why Yamato wants to protect Wano, right? Because that's not what her character is. I don't think an adaptation can just... How do I say this? Okay. There's certain things that are... Anime adaptations are usually very much, their goal is very much to take the source material and present it on screen, right? That's pretty much it. This is not the same as like a book to a movie where there's going to be lots of creative liberties and it's going to reshape, etc., etc. Anime adaptations are generally, they're going to be thinking like, how do I just take, it's just like taking what's on the paper, putting into a visual audio medium, right? So you want the same things recreated, you just want it animated well, sound well, directed well, etc., right? You want the story, characters, etc. to be the same. Now, if you're saying that, well, it's making the story and characters better by adding more depth, that's not what her character actually is, though. It's just making up some BS, right? Like, it's just it's adding some level of, I don't know, like, Is it building up a new character arc for her? What's it doing when it's adding more depth, right? Is it just making up some reasons because the initial reasons are so shallow? Is it congruent with like what the actual story of Wano and themes and everything like that are about, or is it just trying to make up some short-term band-aid patches, right? Because if you're really trying to add in more depth through the anime, right? It has to be in a holistic sense. Any change that you're writing about why characters have certain motivations and everything like that, they have to check off everything, right? So they have to be consistent with all of the themes of the arc, consistent with what actually happens with the character and what decisions and dialogue the character has later on down the line that are rounding out what was said initially and everything like that. Does it affect the character? Does the character now have an arc? Do they have a lesson that needs to be learned or something like that? Does this change future events? Right? Is now important that the character gets certain moments or events down the line to play off of what was set up initially. You can't just write in more dialogue and be like, well, now it's deeper. It's like, no, if you're writing in new motivations and new layers to character motivations, then that has to change so much more for the broader story, which is why I think it's best if the anime just leaves it alone, because most likely, knowing the One Piece anime, it's just trying to pad out time. It's trying to pad out time. It's not trying to think of some deeper, overarching, like, more interesting character arc for Yamato that enhances the themes of Wano and gives the whole arc greater depth. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and maybe Yamato has like a totally different storyline and it's so much deeper in the anime at the end of it. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, no, like, if do her improved interactions with Ace really add a lot to the story? Like, how does that? You can't just throw stuff like that in. Now it has to actually play into the rest of the story. Take Inventory says, Morj, tips on developing as a writer and your fave one. Tips on developing as a writer and your fave one, my favorite writer? Tips on developing as a writer, I mean, I don't know if I'm the best person to ask for that, because I think at the end of the day you should ask, like, you know, an actual writer. I can only talk about what I like seeing and don't like seeing, in my opinion. I think we can talk about, I have a whole video on what I think Oda does really well as a writer, which is this video, why Oda is, I think it's called Why Oda is Underrated / How to Write It Like Oda. I think that's the one where I get the most into the nitty gritty of some of the cool stuff he does. Yeah, Why Oda is Underrated, How to Write. That's actually one of my favorite videos, because it gets into like some of the stuff that people often miss about him. Oh, I gotta watch the clips, right? Alright, let me get into that. Tala John says 10:45, 15 minutes. You're lofting getting started, Warj. I've already watched 10:45. I watched it. No, have I watched 10:45? I don't know. I don't know. What do I have to watch? Dom, thanks for being a member. Yonko tier member for 4 months. Have you played The Last of Us or started watching the show? No, I'm not big on shooters. Okay, hold on. I'm behind by a few. I'm not big on shooters because I never played them as a kid. Here's the thing. So I was thinking earlier, like, why so many people like shooters, and I was looking some stuff up, like, why are so many game genres shooters? It's because, I know I got some supers to catch up on. Give me a second, then we'll get into clips. That's the order we're doing things, right? I think it's because, or no, it's not. I think it just makes sense from reading what other people have said in videos and stuff like that. Shooters are because it's similar mechanical skill going into every game, so you can pick up different shooter games and like just fall into them very, very easily. So it's the same type of skill that's going into it. Very easy to pick up and play because it's the same skill set you have translating over and over and over again, rather than new games like you kind of have to learn certain things from scratch, so a higher barrier for entry, right? Now, because I didn't have, consoles growing up, I never got good at shooters, right? I could only play at friends' houses, and usually at friends' houses I didn't, like, if they asked, I was like, I don't want to play shooters because that's just, that's just not my thing. If I'd grown up playing shooters, then maybe I would love shooters, but, I just don't like, things that require me holding a gun and stuff like that. That's just not my type of game, for the most part. I liked Overwatch, but that's just because I like the movement a lot of certain characters, not the mechanical skill of shooting I still wasn't good at. Japanese Jim says, do you think Matt Owens' involvement in the community will be awkward in hindsight if the live action turns out bad? I'm hoping for the best. No, I mean, it won't be awkward I think that, all we've been saying is, I think in the Reverie, I've never once been like, hey, I'm certain that your live action is going to be really, really good, right? I'm just I hope that it turns out for the best. I think that's all of our, all of our sentiments towards it. We hope it turns out for the best. If it does, it's great for everybody. It's great for One Piece fans, great for the community, all of that stuff. If it doesn't turn out well, then it depends. It's what does not turn out well mean? Because it's if it turns out to be some sort of a show that's middle of the road, then I think everyone will count that as a success, honestly. Because it's damn, this is a hard show to put on screen. If it bombs like Cowboy Bebop did, then I don't think it'll be awkward for anything in retrospect, but having him on in the future, then we'll have to see how he handles it and what his thoughts are and stuff like that. If he wants to even talk to us YouTubers again or something like that, if he feels like it, that's totally up to him. But I don't think it'd be awkward. I think that unless one of us makes it awkward, because things happen and we understand that it's a very, 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 very difficult project. I don't think any of us envy being it's a cool position to have, but I'm saying the pressure and stakes, none of us envy of having to be the writer for the One Piece live action. Mr. Crescent, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 4 months. Would you ever considering making a video on the boys on Movie Morj? Also, do you feel like you could use your analysis talent on something other than manga? Yeah, the movie channel was for that, right? The movie channel was for that. The Boys is not a show that I feel strongly enough. I enjoy The Boys, but it's not a show I feel strongly enough about that I'm I definitely want to make videos on it. I have good thought. I have thoughts on why I think the series is good, but I don't feel like it's something that I love so much that I'd want to make make videos on it. I think that there are certain series that I love, certain series or movies, etc., that I love so much that I feel like I have to talk about them just because to get my thoughts out. The Boys is one that I can just enjoy for enjoying it, Being told to read my DMs from TCB. What? Okay, TCB is saying... Okay, TCB is telling me, would you like watching clips focusing solely on the animation, best clips, or with sound? There's an easy-ish way to go through the animated clips, but they will lack sound. Or do you prefer going to timestamps within actual episodes? I was just going to use Crunchyroll, TCB. I was just going to use Crunchyroll. Yeah, I was just going to go through the Crunchyroll, because Crunchyroll puts up clips, right, of good stuff. Otherwise, maybe I would probably just go to YouTube and look up clips that people tell me to look up. Uchek says, how involved in the anime's creation is Oda? Is it possible he's leaving certain stuff out of the manga purposely to elaborate in the anime? I just don't believe that's a thing, but I understand that that's something that people have speculated on. I've heard people say that, or I've heard some quotes or something that Oda sees the anime episodes before they come out. So I would guess that's his level of involvement. Christian Stave says, I did want to respond to your claim that the anime adds stuff which isn't real. I'd like to point out One Piece isn't real, but a story. Yeah, so I'm saying, like, real to the story. And if part of the anime makes you feel good, although it wasn't in the manga, that's good. Yeah. Um, yeah, like, don't take my views, I guess, on. I think especially if you don't read the manga and you just like okay, here's the tricky thing. Okay? Which is I like that viewpoint if but for me I find it difficult to pick and choose what I like and don't like. So like let's say the anime adds in how do I say this? Let's say the anime was its own thing, right? Let's say I was able to just enjoy the anime as its own adaptation. I'm like, well, this is an alternate version of the One Piece story that maybe I like better, right? And therefore, I can decide that everything that happens in this anime I view as the real version of One Piece. But for everything that the anime adds in, like a bit of writing or dialogue that I think is good, I think that there's tons of examples of things that it just makes worse. Right? Or it'll include some random writing or dialogue or repeat a scene or some weird filler fight or something like some weird interaction or something like that. It's like, why did they do this? This is dumb, right? So for me, it's personally very difficult to enjoy the anime for its good bits when it also has so much bad. Like, I can't view it as the definitive version of the story. It's hard for me to pick and choose where I'm just like, okay, well, I like the manga for this, so I consider the manga to be what I'm following for this section of the story. Oh, but I like this little bit of the anime, so when I'm rereading One Piece, I'll just go back and watch the anime because I like this bit of dialogue or something. Like, it's so hard for me to actually take the anime seriously as something that, like, I would go back and just reread from, or rewatch from start to finish, right? Because so many of the episodes are so bad and filled with so much bad. So it's like, do I weigh all of that bad against a few bits of good dialogue? And I'm like, well, this is the definitive version of the story that I prefer. You get what I'm saying? It's hard for me to just mentally sift through and be like, okay, don't count this, skip. This is the good bits. Okay, this is the good bits or something like that. And it's very hard for me to be like, okay, swapping between anime and manga in terms of the two definitive versions of the story. It's just weird to me. So, but if you don't have that problem, then that's good for you. Waffle says, what's your headcanon Blackbeard theory? Don't really have one, other than I imagine that his two sisters died in some way and are maybe a part of him physically in some way now. Who knows? Just because of the odd body comments and him not sleeping and stuff like that. Attilo says, I recommend 1033 and 1017. It's 1015 level. Okay, I might try this. Goomba Boomba says, anime makes sympathizing with Yamato more bearable. Yeah, but I don't want to sympathize with Yamato. Cigar Verk says, Opla seems to be for people new OP. I mean, to me, even listening to Inaki as Luffy will be awkward. People with no bias. I literally don't understand these statements. Opla seems to be for people new OP. I mean, to me, even listening to Inaki... Oh, okay. The voice actors. Inaki as Luffy will be... Oh, okay. No, not the voice actors, the actual actors. I mean, to me, One Piece live action seems to be for people new to One Piece. I mean, to me, even listening to Inaki as Luffy will be awkward. People with no bias may enjoy it more. I mean, I'm going to go in with an open mind because I want it to be decent so that I can at least... show people that are never gonna watch anime what One Piece is. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of like how people who never knew what The Witcher is, they get the idea of The Witcher through the show. Diaculia said, thanks for being a Yonko member for a month. Are you moving to the new apartment you checked out today? Yes. I didn't check it out. This is an apartment I went to go to talk to the people that run the apartment complex, basically. Is that when you'll finally pull out all the crazy One Piece merch you bought until now? I don't buy a lot of merch. I don't like a lot of clutter. I don't like having... things for the sake of things, you know. Caleb Brown says, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 4 months. Thanks for entertaining me at work as always, Morj-sama, for sure. I think the Wano anime is doing a great job. I like the Scabbards vs. Kaido much more in the anime. I mean, it's cooler. The stuff is cooler in the anime. Cigar Verk says, no, we covered this. Okay. Take Inventory says, I think the anime is good up to Annie's Lobby, to be honest. I mean, that's coincidentally where I stopped watching it because I caught up to the manga, not because I stopped liking the anime. I thought the anime is really good in Thriller Bark. I think that the anime is good enough that the good moments are good. Like, the pacing really took a hit once we start getting to the Marineford saga. But the Marineford saga is also when so much good stuff is happening, like between Sabaody, Impel Down, and Marineford itself. So much good stuff is happening episode to episode. That, like, it's good, it's fine, and I know a lot of people that's their favorite part of the anime. For me, if I'd watched that first without the manga, maybe I would also consider it the best part of the anime. I don't know. Damone Nickerson, thank you. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. You guys want the anime views and stuff like that? All right, let's get the stream likes to 300. Let's start watching some stuff. Okay, TCB, what are you trying to tell me? What's the easy way to go through animated clips? You're saying they will lack sound. I would like sound. I would prefer sound. If we could get sound, that would be amazing. Crunchyroll is pretty incomplete, but I guess you can go through some of the clips. Let me take a look at the clips on Crunchyroll. Let me take a quick look. Synesthesia says, you know, Morj, I gotta say the white portion of your room background is distracting. You should paint it to match better with the gray. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to do that. It's just like, at this point, I'm like, why bother? I'm moving. I was so slow to getting around to doing that stuff. Morj, it's been an hour? No. Come on. It hasn't been that long. Just feels like it's been that long. Let's take a look. Crunchyroll. Oh, look at all these other anime I could also check out. Is this a... This is a... Hold on, let me show you guys. Let's see. Testing. Audio still fine here. Okay. Look, okay, so I'm just seeing on the Crunchyroll site other clips of anime it's got. And look at this. It has from season 2 of Vinland Saga. Look at this quote. If you need to understand Vinland Saga just like a little bit, this is pretty much it. It's called "Not a single good thing has happened to me in my entire life." That kind of sums it up. Season 2 of Vinland Saga is not out yet, right? Okay, so we got this. Do they have playlists? Can I see just One Piece, for example? Can I just see One Piece? This is gonna be too hard. They have a playlist for just Uta from One Piece. Okay. How do I find One Piece clips? I thought there'd be more of them. Isn't One Piece, like, super popular? Okay. Usopp uses color of the Supreme... This does not seem like a clip I should be watching. Why don't I see what you guys say I should watch? What should I watch? Does everybody use dark mode? I feel like I'm just the only person that doesn't use dark mode for things. I use Twitter on light mode. I use YouTube on light mode. Isn't light mode just nicer? I don't get why everybody uses dark mode. So Garverk says, what if next time we see Blackbeard and he says room? Never gonna happen. Come on now. Okay. Oh, we've only got 4 One Piece clips here. Momonosuke sacrifices years of his life. So I've heard that this is a bad clip because people really didn't like how it was drawn, at least according to Twitter. So let's go back a little further. Frankie won't stop talking Chopper. Why are they using these clips? I thought that Crunchyroll would post all the good shit. What is this? The Strats Miss Vivi? This is from like 1998. How far back are they? What are they doing? Dude, why are they? Am I crazy? Why are they even posting this? It's not going to get views. 36k views on a channel with like 5 million subscribers. What the hell? Why would they... What is the point of this? Why don't they just post shit from the new episodes? Are they stupid? Who runs this? Okay, Zoro and Sanji versus King and Queen. I also saw bits of this clip, but I'm down to watch it again. Isn't this the same clip? Alright, we'll watch 2 versions of it. Some random shit. Usopp scares Sugar. Luffy punches Celestial Dragon. Can't complain about that. Should post it every week if they can. When does the anime get bad for me? I mean, somebody else is Eni's Lobby, but I think that it's hard to say. Like, I think that it was good. Like, I think that the good outweighs the bad up till the time skip. Morj never reads chat. Then how am I reading this right now, yokai? Use the search bar? Okay. All right. I never use the YouTube search bar on channels. Okay, Zoro 9 Sword Style versus Kaido. You see this? I watched a bit of it. You hurt Tama, now I'm going to kick your ass. All right. Sanji versus King. Which one of these is... Okay, this I want to watch. This I have watched. Demonio Fleur. I watched a little bit of this. Let me watch the full thing. All right, now we're talking. Now we got some good stuff. Okay. So we got some good clips lined up. All right, Just start with the Yamato Kaido one. I think I already saw this on Twitter, but I'm down to watch again. All right, you guys ready to watch some good reactions? You guys ready to watch some good reactions? All right, let's lower the volume here. Is the that's Zoro's dad or grandpa or whatever? Is the how's the audio? Audio good enough? How's the audio? Is this right? Audio is good. We're gonna roll with this then. This scene is just so bad in itself, though. I'll watch the clip, though. The clip is cool. There are people who believe in me, who accept me. Just everything about her story and her past has so little weight to it, but it's just so overly dramatized as though we've just watched some amazing backstory or some shit. Who accepts? Oh my god. Who? By the way, these questions are never answered in the story. Never answered in the story. Right. Okay. So how do I say this without making people upset? Okay. This scene, it's so well animated. It's really, really cool. It's really amazingly animated. The animation is not like, to me, the anime right now, it likely suffers from basically over dramatizing scenes that don't need to be over dramatized. Like, we just went through a very, very milquetoast, basic, lackluster backstory for Yamato, right? Right? It basically provides no real sense of how do I say this? Build up to such a over dramatized moment. Like, the epic music starts playing. Like, this is the kind of music you expect when, like, I don't know, like, Luffy's gonna fight Lucci over Robin or something like that. Or, like Luffy arrives on the rooftop for the first time or something. Like, they're yelling at the top of their lungs and stuff like that. Didn't Yamato just get to the rooftop? And isn't this, like... just supposed to be a fairly... I don't know... stopover battle? Like, this isn't the final battle of the arc. There is very, very little emotion built up between the Yamato and Kaido situation. We barely have seen these characters interact or whatever. We barely have any depth whatsoever to Yamato. And she's just, like, yelling at the top of her lungs. The most epic music in the world is playing. It's like... Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, don't, like this battle it's so inconsequential, so ridiculous. Like this is the most inconsequential in the battle in the entire rooftop, right? And it's literally just, why are they going so hard for it? It makes actual dramatic moments so much weaker. I guess the way I'd like, simple comparison, one thing that I noticed in like JoJo's Stone Ocean, right, the recent one, and this is something a lot of people complain about a lot. It was like JoJo's has some pretty cool music, right, that it tries to throw in anytime a cool moment happens. And it got to the point where like Stone Ocean would just start playing the badass theme song and stuff like that for pretty much any random shit that would happen, which takes away from pretty much like the actual weight of significance. Like if you want to go this hard and have characters yelling at the top of their lungs for for basically nothing, and having the most dramatic music in the world and stuff play for basically nothing on what is essentially a filler battle, I don't know what to say. I don't think that that's actually that good. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes for a good clip, but it's not. Yeah, as Rutra Kunha says, none of it was earned, right? This is stuff that you want to see like at the conclusion of something strong and emotional, you know? You can't just jump into a battle and be like, well, now they're so dramatic about it and everything like that. That's my opinion. Cigar Verk says, I used to watch One Piece Enies Lobby weekly. There were 4 to 5 episodes where each episode started with the Strahd jumping from roof and then had a different flashback. I mean, I'm not going to say that the anime was always perfect, but the pacing was definitely better back then. There's parts of Enies Lobby that I think, like, even towards the climax, the anime didn't do as well as the manga. It's just that what it did do well, like Jet Gatling and everything like that, it did so amazingly well. Like, I remember towards the end of Enies Lobby, just because you got to pad out an episode, the Buster Call starts, right? So the Strahds are all fighting the captains and everything like that. And I didn't think about this at all when I was watching it, because I'm watching it at the time, right? I'm not yet fully a weekly reader, right? But going back in the manga, when the captains are fighting them and everything like that, it's as though basically the sky is falling. Like, absolute desperation. You're just getting quick cuts and stuff like that of each of the Strahds like struggling or intense in their own way, and that's the sort of atmosphere that's the backdrop for Luffy defeating Lucci, right? In the anime, they have to pad out a full episode. So the captains are attacking, but it's really, really dragged out, and it's got lots of little gags and like scenes of the Strahds beating up the captains and stuff like that, and it kind of just like, it takes away from the seriousness and tension of the moment, because it all just kind of like becomes very diluted as the it's not as intense. They're not in as much pressure, because, you know, you see him beating up these captains, then you cut away to like some Frankie gag or some Nami gag or something. Like, it's really padding out the fight, and it's not making it seem as though as frenzied and as intense and as much of a time constraint as it was in the manga. So I'm not going to say that even as Enies Lobby and stuff or any part of the One Piece anime is perfect. I'm just saying that there's a far cry from how much padding had to be done back then to what it is now. Verkalis show says, bro, you're just hating. No, I'm serious. Like, I just don't think that just saying now it's dramatic and turning up the music and having characters yell over nothing is that good. Because it skips the important part, which is setting things up emotionally, right? Building the emotion to a point where you actually earn that crescendo. Lissandro Papadam says, some episodes you need to watch them fully because it hits harder with all the build-up. I mean, but I know what happens in the back. I know the backstory that came before this. It's a bad backstory, right? It's a bad backstory, and it doesn't change the fact that this is, by far, the easily most removable battle in the entirety of the Wano War, right? This rooftop battle. We didn't, like, nothing really comes from it other than this is happening on the side, then Luffy comes back and just takes over the fight, right? This fight almost didn't need to happen, and it does pretty much nothing for Yamato as a character and pretty much nothing for Kaido as a character. And I know, again, do I really need to watch the backstory? Was the backstory really well animated? Was it somehow made way more emotional? Or was there much more characterization or stuff like that made up for Yamato in it? Because I know the backstory. It's pretty much the most straightforward backstory imaginable. Haritz Undika Nugroho says, maybe because she has so many things and all were rapid fire at short amount of time, we literally just met her during the raid, for fuck's sake. Yeah. The Hidden Island says, Morj, dope animation, but they stuck it in the most random scene on Earth. Exactly. Like, it's such a random... Hidden Island agrees with me. It's such a random scene to just be like, well, now it's really amazing or something. Like, now it's really, gassed up or something by animation and sound direction. And it's not even just that. It's just, like, the level of emotion they're trying to pull out from the characters It's just out of the blue. Michael Schoen says, inconsequential. If Yamato isn't holding Kaido on the roof, doesn't he go run over everyone while Luffy is not there? What I mean is basically, like, it does nothing for either character. What Kaido is doing while Luffy is out of the picture is something that basically, how do I say this? It's something that basically could be written off in literally any manner, right? It never felt as though, like, Yamato's the one holding Kaido back. Like, you could have Marco do it. You could have literally any of the free characters basically do it, right? Like, it's not as though this is that important story-wise for Yamato or Kaido. Yamato confronting Kaido here, why is that? If you took this scene out, right? Let's say you took this scene out completely. Is this important for her character? What do we get out of her character for this, right? Nothing. If you took this scene out for Kaido, what do we get out of this? Is his relationship with Yamato ever important to the story whatsoever? If you're saying, like, well, it's really important because Yamato was, like, epically holding back Kaido on the roof this entire time, it's kind of like, okay, but you could have just had Luffy get back sooner, right? Or you could have just had Kaido distracted by somebody else. We already had Kaido go through and meet up with Kinemon, try and capture Momonosuke and Shinobu and stuff like that. Kaido, for some reason, goes all the way back to the roof just to meet up with Yamato again, who fights him for, like, a couple chapters, basically, and then Luffy's back. It doesn't do that much in the story in the grand scheme of things. It really is a filler, like, holdover battle. Tom says, animation quality is like that part of SpongeBob where Squidward says, maybe if we play loud, everyone... Animation quality is like that part of SpongeBob where Squidward says, maybe if we play loud, everyone might think we sound good. No, the anime itself, the animation is really good. The animation itself is really good. Salah Jidshaki says, Morj need character development in every battle. No, I don't. I don't need character development in every battle. But I'm saying, like, if you have a battle that's genuinely a filler battle, not really important for any of the characters or the story whatsoever, right? It's basically a plot holdover of just like, okay, well, they're doing something upstairs between Yamato and Kaido. Very little emotion used to set up this scene. Then why are you trying to make it seem this epic? That's all I'm saying. All right, let's go. Next clip. Let's go. Which clip? Which clip? Okay, my passion is hotter than fire. Is this clip different than this clip? How are these two clips different? Because they seem like the same thing. Which one do I watch first? This one's uploaded 13 days ago. This one's uploaded 2 weeks ago, so I'll watch this one first. I like that. That was cool. I mean, like, don't know what to say there 100%. Like, it's a cool scene. I will say one thing. How do I say this? It is really going to sound like I'm hating all the time, right? I think that was a good clip. I definitely think that was a good clip. That happened probably chapter 1000... Maybe 1030? Oh, no, that's going to be... Probably 1030, right? Like, I think it's a cool clip. 1030, maybe 1029 or something like that. Am I too early? 1028? Am I too late? Where did they do this? 2025? 1022. No, it's not a rant. It's not a rant. Because I don't see anything. Like, that's supposed to be a really dramatic moment, and it's not as over dramatized with as the Yamato, Yamato Kaido scene. Um, See, the one thing that I feel like the anime might never be able to do again, which I think is unfortunate. Um, I think that the anime is always gonna take any moment that, even if it's supposed to be kind of a quick moment, right? And lengthen it, right, for dramatic effect. So this is supposed to be a dramatic moment, right? So this is something where we get the bandages slowly coming off, we get reaction shots and everything like that, we get the build-up quote, we get more reaction shots and stuff like that, we get some close-ups and everything like that, and then we get the big hit, right? I think that this is something like the anime can never. The way the anime did it was still cool and arguably better than this, right? It's a personal preference thing. All I'm saying is I think that it's interesting that this type of hype moment where it's kind of like you don't see the full shot of Zoro until it's actually the full page spread where he's attacking King, Sanji's attacking Queen simultaneously, right? It's kind of like just showing us glimpses of stuff and then hitting us with like a really big moment or big shot. The anime can't do that anymore because the anime is always going to want to pad out time. So there's different types of moments, right? There are moments that work really well, that in the manga were portrayed as long build-up moments where we see a lot and then eventually we hit a climax. And then there's moments that are kind of more, I suppose, sudden moments of action or sudden moments of hyper excitement and everything like that. I would argue that this one's somewhere in the middle, but in the manga, it's cool that we're not seeing Zoro whatsoever for a while. We've been seeing him in for a cast for a long time. And then we're getting these shots of him somewhat emerging. We're getting some glimpses of him. Okay, so Zoro's out. We get a glimpse. And then we get kind of a return with a bang with basically him out alongside Sanji and both of them hitting at the same time, right? And that's the first shot we've really seen of Zoro outside of a cast in a while. That's cool in itself and sort of the wow factor of this panel because we've only been getting glimpses and like little teasers so far, right? With the anime, it needs to drag things out, so it can't do the scene like this. It chooses instead to do the scene as basically, which is still cool in its own right, right? The much longer dragged out sort of reveal, which is like, all right, we get Zoro, so Zoro's out, we get Zoro, we're going to want to charge up the attack a lot, right, really take a time, then have a long sequence of them going forward together and everything like that, DBZ mode, and then hitting King and Queen. That's cool in its own right. I'm just saying it's a different style, and I do think that it's unfortunate that the anime, like, clip to clip, that stuff is cool. I do think it's unfortunate that the anime from here on will always have to do stuff like that. I do wonder, for example, something like the moment that Sanji arrives as the hunter, right? I guess that's not a fair comparison. I'm sure the anime would have still held on to the surprise for that. But do you guys get what I'm saying? I think anything hype that happens in One Piece from here on, the anime will try and extend it as much as possible. Whereas I don't think everything needs to be extended. I think some things are cool just in happening in, I guess, a more sudden or more explosive manner, I suppose. Does that make sense? But I still like that clip. How is this clip different? Are people mad? I think that the anime is cool here. I've already, like, with the auras and stuff, I don't like the auras, but I've already come to accept him. QV says Oda should have put Denjiro instead of Yamato. Honestly, like, I mean, I don't think Denjiro is right, because we already had the Scabbards take a crack at him, but, you know. Kakashi Snitch 9 says, how would you rank all these brilliant mangakas? Uh-oh, this is dangerous. Oda, Tagashi, Fujimoto, and Kishimoto. How would I rank all these brilliant mangakas? I'm gonna take Kishimoto out of there. Just not my personal cup of tea. I think the direction Naruto went. Although I think Kishimoto at his best early on was amazing, right? just not my cup of tea. I think the direction the series went. And I do definitely think that out of these three authors, Kishimoto, at least from the way that I can tell the story kind of played out, was the least planned out, and I value planning out the direction of the story a lot. Fujimoto, from the way that he writes, it might seem unplanned, but it looks like everything is actually very carefully planned out. And a lot tends to make me think that he had a lot of these ideas planned out from very early in the story, from the beginning. So that I'm going to take Kishimoto out of there personally, but I think that at his best, he's amazing, right? Early on. Oda, Togashi, Fujimoto. They're all so different. They're all very different. I think Fujimoto needs a longer period, or he needs a longer run before you can put him in the same category as Oda and Togashi. I think I love everything Fujimoto does, and I really think that he's an extremely innovative, like outside the box thinker, much more than any of these other mangaka, honestly. Like his approach to manga is very different than any of these other guys, I think. But and I've liked a lot what he's put out so far, but I think he definitely needs a much longer run before he can be put in the same breath as Oda, Togashi, even Kishimoto, right? And his style is very different, so it's hard to compare, right? So Oda, Togashi, comparing these brilliant mangakas, as you said, it's really hard. I think those two are really hard to compare. It's really, really hard to compare. I mean, like, I trust Togashi way more for writing certain things, and then I trust Oda way more for writing certain things. Like, if I want just a straight up really sad story, like, even in the way that they evoke emotions, right? If I want a really tragic, straight up sad backstory that, like, makes me want to cry my eyes out, I go Oda, right? With Togashi having done the Phantom Troop backstory recently, I'm just like, yeah, this ain't it, right? Even the Kurapika backstory, I'm just like, yeah, this weak. Okay, but at the same time, there's a different, more nuanced style of tragic writing that we get in the Chimera Ant arc with certain characters, right? Whose names I don't want to get into, basically. But my favorite tragic storyline in Hunter x Hunter, and one of my favorite tragic storylines, like any story ever, that comes in the Chimera Ant arc, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. And that's something that's a lot more complex than something that Oda would ever do, and it brings out a different sense of emotion than something that Oda would ever do. So their strengths are very different. It's very hard to compare. I think ultimately, for both of them, they're in a spot right now where I think, like, the next few years will probably tell me a lot about, like, who I think is who I prefer is the better mangaka, because what's interesting is I think they're both in a very similar spot where they're both attempting an extremely ambitious storyline. With Oda, it's the conclusion of One Piece, right? The final saga of One Piece, which is insanely ambitious, right? Everything that this whole story has been building to for so long. And then Togashi is trying the Succession War arc, which I think is the most ambitious individual arc in terms of writing that I've ever seen someone attempt to do in a manga. Just in terms of the cast of characters and number of ideas that are going on here. And the way Togashi writes, it's not just contingent on action and stuff like that. So he has to have interesting ideas for where all of these characters are headed. I think that's really, really, really difficult, just plotting-wise, story structure-wise. I think it's crazy difficult. So I think how they handle their current phases of their story will tell a lot, I think that Oda recently tried a similarly ambitious arc, which was Wano, and I did not personally feel like he pulled that off that well, but let's see how Togashi does, you know? So it's really hard to say. You know, that's all I got. 1 hour, 2 clips is Daryl Williams. All right. Let's get to the next thing. Sometimes I just talk about a bunch of stuff. And then I come down and realize that nobody gives a shit. I'm like, okay, I wonder if people are really upset that I talked about One Piece versus Hunter x Hunter so much. And everybody else is instead upset that I haven't watched enough clips. Listen, I'm about to watch another clip, all right? All right, let's go. Let's go. Ian White says One Piece filler is tough, but Morj stream filler is worse than anything. All right. I get it. Is anyone else seeing this shit? Wait, am I crazy? Queen had hockey, right? Queen had hockey. He used armament hockey in the actual... I mean, he used black coating, right? Did Queen use black coating in the manga, or am I stupid? Am I forgetting? Like, he used it in the manga, right? Maybe I forgot. He does it in the manga? He does it in the manga. Okay, my bad. It's the Toby Roppo that I think don't use hockey, correct? I mean, we can assume that they all have hockey. Like, we know Ulti has hockey, we saw that. And we can assume the other Toby Roppo have hockey. It's just that Oda didn't bother to do black coating for them. My bad. I'm sorry. Why are they both turning into... Hold on. Why do they both do that? Alright. Oh, he could have caught both swords. That would have been cool. Why do you only catch one sword? This is not a complaint. It's so minor. It's just like, I'm like, why? No, he could have caught, that would have been cool. I mean, I like this scene. It's exactly what I would like an anime scene to be, which is just the same as the manga scene, but better, you know? I think it's cool. Cool. You know? I like it. Good stuff. Specific animator style. Did they also animate Levi from Attack on Titan? No, I'm not. You guys are reading too much into the sword catching scene. It's more like... No, I shouldn't have said anything. It's more like, I thought that this whole scene is cool. I'm enjoying the scene. I'm like, oh man, this is, okay. Liking it. He gets thrown. Like, then I'm like, oh damn, he caught the sword. I'm like, wait, why didn't they have him catch the other one? It's more like I was excited to see him catch the sword. I was like, that's pretty badass. But then I see him not catch the other sword. Like, just catch the other sword. Good stuff. All right, we good? All right, on to the next one. Eduardo J. Cruz says, not too long for you, huh? Yeah, I mean, I think that scene was good. Like, you understand? Like, that scene plays out the same way as the manga scene. I think that that this scene, right? It's clearly very different from the manga scene, so that they can pad out time. The one I'm talking about, where, like, you know, they take their time. They have Zoro come out of the band-aids, right? Then they have him charge up some move. Then they take a long time for him and Sanji to attack and stuff like that, which is cool in its own right as the adaptation. It's just different. I think I can't really compare which I prefer between the anime and the manga because I would have to have seen, like, if I'd seen the anime first, then maybe I would have liked the way the anime did it better than the manga did it, or vice versa. I don't know. I think that one's biased based on what you saw first. I think that this one, where they're just fighting king and queen, or not this one, you know, the one that we just saw, where they're fighting king and queen straight up, I mean, that's just better than the manga version for sure. Alright. Anime Vid says, OMG, who asked a question, OMG? Listen, we don't have a lot to work with, alright? I'm running out of clips here. We've only got this one, and then Demonio Fluor. And then maybe you guys could send me some other ones. Ban whoever asked of that. Eduardo J. Cruz says, Morj, I like the scene Zoro only catches one sword, but listen, I don't get it. Why did they have him catch both? Did they run out of animation budget to have him catch both? Alright guys, let's get the likes to 500. Because we're about to watch this scene. I've seen bits of this like in on Twitter, but I haven't watched the full clip. This is Advanced Conquerors Hockey, right? Baby Morj says, I hate this clip. This hype. There's a playlist. No, the playlist. I couldn't find the playlist. Let me see if I can find the playlist. Hold on. Okay, let's try it. One Piece clips. There is a playlist. Good news, guys. There's a playlist. Will you call me your friend again? Oh, what a good scene. Okay, alright. Tala Jahan says 10:45 from 15 minutes in. Me and TCB both saying this. Alright, that's next up. 10:45 from 15 minutes in. I'm cool with that. I can watch that. Alright, listen. That clip was cheating. That clip's cheating. That's not fair. Because you can't play the OG soundtrack like that and not get such a happy reaction out of me. That's not fair. That's unfair. This clip is cool. I like this clip a lot. Awesome. Because it did so much... Animation, obviously 10 out of 10. Music choice, 11 out of 10. What I like, though, what I really like is that they fixed something that I felt was not great in the original 10. It's hard to explain. 1010 is a cool chapter, but I think still, especially on reread of Wano, it's just really bizarre how, like... I've never seen a power-up moment like this, where it's just so almost like Luffy kind of just wakes up and he's just like, I realized something, and then he hits Kaido and he's like, I realized something, and then he's having the most epic power up ever. It's not. It's like, it's hard to explain. Like, the coolness of what's happening, like the reveals about Conqueror's Haki and Luffy finally getting to hit Kaido, that's really epic on its own. But it's just the way that he gets to it. It feels like a strange power up to me. It just doesn't have the certain oomph to it. Like, like when Goku goes Super Saiyan, it's epic because like we have such a powerful trigger for Goku going Super Saiyan, right? Or like, I don't know, like even Zoro, or when Zoro learns Advanced Conqueror's Haki, this arc, there's a full chapter to him kind of going through the emotions and everything like that, and the memories, and kind of realizing, and then he gets to this moment, right? Against King, where he activates Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Luffy getting Advanced Conqueror's Haki is just, I don't really know. I still don't know how I feel about it. What I like about what the manga did is that it helps put things into perspective, right? So it's small, but the flashbacks are good. It's important to have those flashbacks here. Like, I think that this was a great flashback. Like, this this was a great moment to include again, because it's like, what kind of king did you say you'd be? In the same moment that Luffy's unleashing, like, that was the challenge that Kaido posed to him towards the very beginning of the arc, that he doesn't view Luffy as a king. And in this moment, Luffy's unleashing, the very essence of what it means to be a king, like advanced disposition of a king, right? I think that's a great flashback to have in this moment, because it just adds, like, the flashbacks are kind of almost, you view it from, like, it feels like this is what Luffy's remembering in this moment, right? So it adds a sense of emotion to a scene that's otherwise fairly, I don't know, emotionless on his ends. Like, it's kind of just him remembering, like, or having some, like, logical realization, like, this is what Hyogoro said, it was still too shallow, I figured it out, you can infuse things with Supreme King's Haki, right? I won't say the scene's emotionless, that's not fair to say, because I think that there's dramatic stuff happening all around, like Zoro defeated here, Law, Kid, etc., or Zoro, Law, etc., Luffy's all bloody and stuff like that. But I'm saying, like, from his perspective, it feels more like a scene that's, what's going on? Nothing happened? Wait, what happened? Is there no audio? Hello, testing. No, you guys have audio. Oh, what? Stream got taken down? Wait, what? No! No! This has never happened to me before. This has never happened. Wait, is the stream's still up though? Hold on. Let's see what happened. Okay. Let me go into actual YouTube stuff. This has never happened to me before. What's going on? I mean, the stream sees it's still up. Wait, I didn't know they could temporarily suspend a stream. Okay, let me catch up to the things that people were saying. Hold on. Okay. Bingle Deop, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 4 months. He said you got erased from history. Alright, Professor Clover, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 4 months. Your stream cut out for a few minutes and said it was a policy violation. You're good now, though, it looks like. Okay. JHWJWH says nothing happened, Morj, don't worry about it. Aliato5 says no streams getting temporarily suspended over here. Nope. Okay. So, I didn't know that my stream got suspended briefly. That's some news to me. What does that mean, though? Spade says more just stream shut down. Caleb Brown says nothing happens. What do I do? How much did you guys hear? How about the void minute? The void minute. Ninja of Melon says, after the clip, you literally said, okay, listen, and it got suspended right after that. Okay, so then how far before I got back to what I was talking about? It's the audio, mute sound? No, but I want to hear the sound. But I want to listen to the sound. You know what? No, I want to... No, I guess I just mute the sound on my desktop. Duh. Yeah, wait. I got it. I mute desktop audio. If I mute desktop audio, I guess we're good. Leeson says you're about to go in on the Luffy's Conqueror's Punch. Okay, I'll keep it short and simple. I'll keep it short and sweet. Short and sweet, right? I was saying short speech, short and sweet. Same thing. Randy Roca says, how did you not notice Mork? Because I was actually enjoying the scene and I wanted to get my thoughts off before seeing what other people were saying. But yeah, okay, let's talk very quickly, right? Okay, what did I like about this scene? I thought this was a great clip from the anime because I always felt like what happened in 1010, as far as like extremely big power-ups go, I didn't love the 1000, like, in 1010, I thought the Conqueror's Haki stuff was cool. I felt like the way that he got the power-up was not that, like, it was kind of too straight. It was kind of just like Luffy having this random realization, like, oh wait, the Haki you wield, it does this stuff. Like, it's like a more of a logical click for Luffy, and then he starts doing all this epic stuff. It's kind of weird. Like, it's not, yeah, it's just, it's like suddenly he just like logically realizes, like, wait, it should be like this. What if I just did this thing? And then he starts doing all this epic stuff, right? It doesn't feel that emotionally powerful to me this moment, because it's kind of like he just wakes up, he's like, wait a second, I thought about some stuff, what if I just did this? And then he starts like, it's not exactly a Super Saiyan moment, right? It's not exactly something super dramatic or epic or something like that in that sense in terms of how he gets it, but I think once he starts doing it, like, these panels are obviously really epic, right? What I loved about what the anime did is that it adds emotion to the scene without cheating. So what do I mean by that? Without cheating in the sense that, like, it doesn't add in like a bunch of extra dialogue for Luffy or something like that, like how he feels so passionately for this, like, I don't know, like, it doesn't make up stuff for Luffy, right? All it does is it reminds us of why we should feel emotion here, which is obviously the music choice. I was saying initially that the music choice is unfair because, like, you can't play this music and not make the scene, like, obviously I'm going to enjoy the scene once that music starts playing, right? It's too cool to, it's just too much nostalgia right there, right? So it's not fair. But that being said, the music, great choice, animation's great choice. What I really liked is that it starts including flashbacks, particularly to this first flashback, right? With Kaido, what did Kaido say to Luffy at the beginning of or at the end of Act 1, their first fight when he beat him? Like, what kind of king did you say you'd be? Right? So it brings things full circle by reminding the viewer of that initial challenge or shortcoming Luffy had, that he's not a king in Kaido's eyes, he's not there yet. And now we're at a moment where Luffy's had a realization of how to use his disposition of a king to its full potential and actually fight Kaido on equal terms as a king, right, in that sense, right? So I like that it's bringing back that flashback. Like, he's not a little punk anymore. He is fighting him as a king. It's showing us flashbacks of, like, what's happened to his, to his crewmate, what he's fighting for at this moment. It's flashing back to his training and making the training seem more dramatic, right? All of it leading up to this. I think that makes the scene significantly better than what it was in Chapter 1010. Mara says, Toei, Morj stream no longer exists. So, I mean, I like this scene. I like this scene because this scene does, I think, everything that 1010, in my opinion, should have done, but it doesn't really cheat by making up more story to get it there, right? Like, okay, if I were to put it like this, the Yamato Kaido scene was basically making a scene that way more dramatic than it needed to be. Whereas this is making a scene that probably should have been more dramatic and emotional feel as dramatic and emotional as it probably should have originally been in the manga. Does that make sense? Kian Skirt says you should watch Red Rock. No, I've seen that. I thought that's a great episode. Great episode, great scene. Oh, am I not screen sharing either? Oh, it doesn't matter. You guys get what I'm saying, right? But yeah. AJK says Morj, we can't see your screen, man. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Like, I like the flashback. It has the flashback to what kind of, to quickly hit the points again, has the flashback to, hold on, give it a second. Has a flashback to what kind of king you'd say you'd be. I thought that was the most significant bit of dialogue that Luffy and Kaido had in their entire Act 1 fight. So I think it's good that the anime brings it back at this point, because this is the moment that Luffy's stepping up with the disposition of the king, right? Reaching its peak and showing Kaido he was wrong. It's showing the flashback to his injured crewmate, who Luffy is fighting for and defending in this situation to a degree, and shows the flashback to the training and makes the training seem more dramatic and shows that Luffy's representing the new generation. Basically, it takes everything in 1010. Like, if you look at 1010, initially, it's just not a very, there's not a lot of emotion. It's not a very emotional power-up, right? It's kind of random. It's like Luffy just wakes up. He's like, I just had this realization. This haki, I could just use Conqueror's haki instead with my advanced armament or something and just swap those two out. I figured it out. And then he's just punching Kaido and beating Kaido up. While this is very cool, right? As far as dramatic power-ups go, this feels very just like, oh, aha, I kind of got it. All right, now time to go to work or whatever, right? Whereas this adds a lot more emotion to the scene, and it feels like this emotion is warranted for what the scene is, which is Luffy basically unlocking the key to advance Conqueror's haki, right? So this figures out a way to add emotion to the scene without, as I said, it doesn't cheat. It doesn't make up new dialogue or like make up some new motivations for Luffy or anything like that. It just reminds us through, you know, quick flashbacks of what this is all about, right? So I think that that's good. Again, Yamato Kaido moment, that was over dramatizing a scene where the emotion wasn't earned whatsoever. This is the opposite in that it takes a scene that probably wasn't as emotional or dramatic as it should have been, considering what's actually happening here, and working in some fitting level of emotion and drama through flashbacks to recontextualize what's happening. That's basically it. Caleb Brown says Luffy's thought process was, wait, what if I just win? Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of, yeah. Drek the Drek says the action is cool. That's the only good thing in the anime. Small 3-minute snippets. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's been my take so far on the anime in general. When they aren't agonizing, we've had it out like everything else. That's not enough to justify watching something, not unless Megumi is directing. Yeah, I'm never going to watch like full episodes of the anime. I am going to watch what I'm being told to watch by some people. I have to watch what? Let me check. What are they saying? I have to watch 10:45. 10. What are they telling me? What's TCB saying? Some people said I have to watch 10:45 from 15 minutes on. Okay, TCB gave me a bunch of stuff. I can't go through all this just because of the length of the stream. Power Vision is telling me my stream was suspended temporarily. So while you discussed the first half of the clip, it was down. Alright, whatever. You guys get everything I was talking about, right? Okay, so beyond that, let's, we're going to do one more clip. We're going to watch 10:45, One Piece episode 10:45 from 15 minutes on. And that's going to be the last clip that we watch. So let's hope it's a good one. Can I log into Crunchyroll here? Please? Fuck. Hello? Fuck. I swear I have a Crunchyroll password. I swear I have a Crunchyroll account. Please let me in. Damn it. Don't remember what it is. Ismail Sari says had to thumbs up, the void minute happened. Okay. I know I have a Crunchyroll account. How do I get into it? Kakashi Snitch 9 says, I want Wano to be carried by animation like Demon Slayer. I mean, was it 1033? Is it 1033? Okay, I have to watch 1033 and 15 minutes on, right? Okay, let's see if we can find it on YouTube. No, 1033 is what? What? This is like a red rock. Is that what I was being told to watch? Just a red rock? No, wait, is 1033 when they get onto the roof? I'm so confused. Didn't I see the moment that they get onto the roof? I'm so confused. What's the episode? Okay, it's TCB here. What episode was I supposed to watch? 1033, 1045. I'm going to watch one of those. Goomba Boomba says, you watch He Laughed in the anime, question mark. What are your thoughts? I did not see that. Okay, it's TCB saying 1045 from minute 15 on or 1033 entire episode. I'm not watching an entire episode. I'll watch 1045 from 15 minutes on. What happens in... okay, actually tell me what happens in both episodes. Oh, 1045 is Momonosuke growing up or something like that, right? Okay, I'll give you guys a poll. I'm not going to watch a full episode of something like that. I might do 1033 then. Seems like more people are saying 1033. I'll probably roll with that. But I don't want to watch a full episode. Just tell me where I can watch from 1033. Professor Clover says, I think you missed my super chat about Zoro catching the sword. You might have read it when the stream was down. I don't know. Let's take a look. Super about Zoro catching a sword from Professor Clover. Where are we at? Professor Clover said, Zoro didn't catch the cursed sword, because it's spinning over his arm and not cutting him is a callback to when he got Ippon Matsu's sword shop. Oh, that's an interesting point. I could see that. I also missed another one from Transform Knight. I'm sorry about that. I see what you mean. It works better here in the anime, but a good example is when Kaido one-shotted Luffy and Kuri, or the first Kong Gun versus Doflamingo. Yeah, I think so as well. He's talking about when you drag it out versus don't drag it out. Like, I think Kaido beating Luffy was better in the manga in Act 1 than in the anime. And I think Kongun was better in Act 1, or not in the manga than in the anime, in my opinion. To me. Watch He Laughed. Can I just watch Demonio Floor and call it a day? Tyler Jahan says the Crunchyroll clip of 1045 gets cut short 15 minutes in. Just skip the filler parts. 1033. Okay, I do want to watch 1033. I have to watch He Laughed. Okay. Hold on. People are saying 1033 I have to watch the full episode. I don't know if that's going to happen this stream. I might save it for... I might do another stream of this where I watch Wano anime clips, because it's clear that there are some good scenes. Okay? 1033. You guys really want 1033, huh? But you guys also want He Laughed. Let's see if I can easily find it. Khalid Suleiman says, Morj, I swear if you don't watch He Laughed. Okay, I could try He Laughed. How about I do He Laughed and Demonio Floor, and then I'll watch like a full episode of 1033 in a separate stream. How about that? Okay. And I kind of want to watch Roger Laughed. I'm not in the mood to watch a full episode either. AJK says, Morj, I got the clip. I got the clip too. I think we're good. Alright, I found the He Laughed clip. I think we're good. Alright? You guys ready? You guys ready for He Laughed? We'll do He Laughed, we'll do Demonio Floor, and then we'll go. Alright? 1033 we'll do another day. Okay. Let me just double check desktop audio is off. Okay. It did it again. It says my stream has been temporarily blocked again. No. No. Okay, you know what? I think it's... Hold on. I think I figured it out. Wait, can you guys hear me at least? Can you hear me? Can they hear me? Or... God damn it. All right. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Do we just call it a day? Do we just call it a day? Is the stream coming back? Oh, shit. All right, you know what? This is as good a place as any to end it. Wait, is the stream back? Is the stream back? Hello? Hello, hello? Hello, hello, hello? Hello, hello? We're back? All right, so it seems that it's hard to it's hard to react. It's hard to do react streams. It's pretty hard to do react streams. All right. I guess I have to react on Twitch. Yeah, I'm gonna stop watching the clips. I don't want to get banned. It's not worth it. But you know, I'll share my quick thoughts. He laughed. I think I need to have watched that in the full flow of the episode, cause I didn't feel like I got distracted by the ban and everything like that. Eat the Earth says more suspension equals the One Piece because everyone laughed. I think that I don't know if I love the music choice for He Laughed. Again, I think that's one where I need to have watched it in the context of the episode to see if I really felt like the music choice was good. I also think that the way that they revealed him laughing, sorry, I think I might have preferred it in the manga. I'm not sure. The Purple Straw says you missed mine earlier too. Caleb Brown says someone in stream is working for Toei. My bet is TCB. Let me see if I can catch the Purple Straw Hats. My mistake. Hold on. Yeah, He Laughed. I'm just not gonna judge it because I think that one in particular, like, it just starts right away with the He Laughed moment. The clip I watched starts right away with He Laughed, like 20 seconds in. So I think that's one that I really needed to have watched the full episode to have felt the proper build up to that scene. So I just can't judge that one, unfortunately. Also, I got distracted with the pan thing again. Where's Purple Straw Hat's comment? I really don't see it. Oh, no, I see it. No, I only see your comment that says you missed mine earlier too. Where is it? I literally don't see your comment. No, I got it. Okay, the Purple Straw Hat says, I think that because a big part of Yamato's character is her relationship with her dad. Is it? is it an important part of her character? It is important that she confronts him head on at some point. I do agree. I'm kidding. It is. I'd say it's supposed to be an important part of her character, her relationship with her dad. So she does need to confront him. But the scene was definitely nowhere near like. Definitely way over dramatized for what it actually is in the context of the story. All right. Boo Boo says, "Do you know the significance of the song choice for anime watchers?" I want to say yeah. I've followed the anime for so long. I don't know why the song choice is that significant though. Maybe I'm not remembering. Isaiah D says, "Morj, you have to actually say stuff while reacting." No, I don't. I'm not that type of a reactor. I like enjoying what I'm watching and soaking it in, and then sharing my thoughts afterwards. All right, we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it here. If I do try doing a full episode reaction, it'll have to be on Twitch. So we'll see about that next time. I can barely stream on YouTube as is without things going wrong. So let's see if I can pull off Twitch. But AJK says, "No, but for real though, I hope you're having a lovely New Year, bro." Thanks, AJK. I appreciate it. You too. Long time no see, busy lately and having catching up to your streams, but I wish you all the good luck. Thanks, man. Yeah, you've been missed, but all good. Nothing crazy has happened. I appreciate you sticking around for sure. Garrett Raubotman says, "People who say stuff while reacting are just filling air." The thing is, so I think that that's not fair because actual reactors, they have to say stuff, right? That's like the whole point of it. For me, I don't consider myself a reactor. This isn't my actual style of content, right? So I'm just gonna watch as I would normally watch. It's more so to share my thoughts on the Wano anime with you guys, right? Rather than actually me going whoa, oh my god, and stuff like that while I'm watching. So I don't know. I think it's maybe a little different. But yeah, sorry if I'm not the same as, I guess, reactors that you're used to. Okay. All right, guys, I think that, yeah. I think we're good. But thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will talk to you all later. This was a interesting stream for sure. Definitely flirting with being banned over the course of this stream, right? So should be more careful next time. Thanks everyone. Talk to you guys later.